Picture a world where the pond water is perfectly calm, flawlessly reflecting the crisp, brilliant colors of an ancient sunrise. Sunlight sweeps down from the towering peak of Trikuta Hill, gleaming against magnificent, seemingly endless golden city walls. Listen closely. You can almost hear the distant melodic chanting of priests echoing from sapphire temples and the deep, rhythmic thud of war drums waking the royal guards. At first glance, you're looking at a place of unparalleled external beauty and unimaginable wealth. But beneath that gleaming sunrise, hiding within the lush, fragrant shadows, a creeping, desperate darkness is taking hold. This is Lanka. And the duality you're seeing here, the profound, almost suffocating contrast between glittering illusion and absolute cosmic truth, is exactly why this timeless story still resonates so deeply with us today. It's a story of unbreakable spirit trapped in a world of deception.
That tension brings us directly to the absolute emotional epicenter of our story, captured perfectly in this one incredibly powerful statement. For you, I am a red-hot iron image awaiting your embrace. These are the words of Sita. And what's truly compelling here is the sheer, unyielding defiance she represents. Think about her situation, plunged into captivity, thin from grief, fasting for months, and entirely surrounded by immense, terrifying demonic power. Yet she is absolutely no broken captive. She is a force of nature. She stands face to face with Ravana, the demon king himself, looking him dead in the eye, warning him that to even touch her is to embrace absolute burning destruction. The stakes here aren't just about survival, they are cosmic.
Section 1. The Golden City's Shadow.
The physical reality of Lanka is incredibly brutal. On one side, you have crisp morning sunlight warming those immaculate golden walls. On the other, you have the grotesque, nightmarish reality of Sita's tormentors. High above this scene, concealed in the dark, heavy leaves of a massive sinsapa tree, a silent observer is watching. Hanuman, the son of the wind. He has diminished his sheer monstrous size until he's no bigger than a human hand, hiding perfectly in the shadows. His eyes burn with quiet rage as he looks down at the Rakshasi guards circling the grove. These female demons are terrifying furies. Imagine creatures bearing the faces of dogs, owls, and tigers, stomping on the thick legs of elephants, their heads covered in hair like a mangy camel. The bloody gore of past murders literally covers them like a dark cloak. They are a profound visual assault, and they make Hanuman's eyes physically ache as he silently watches them circle the luminous, glowing presence of Sita.
Section 2. Prophecy of the White Elephant.
As the physical threat of the guards evolves into calculated psychological warfare, the fragile tranquility of the morning completely shatters. The demon king Ravana approaches the grove, bringing with him the suffocating, heavy weight of absolute power. He arrives, blinking his glaring, red-shot eyes against the morning sun, trailed by 100 sleepy, beautiful wives. Beside him walks Queen Mandodari, carefully feeding him sips of rich wine from a golden cup. Ravana attempts to break Sita's spirit, not with immediate violence, but with terrifying, glittering temptations. In a shocking display, he kneels, bowing his 10 heads straight into the dirt, and then rises to offer her the entire world. "Rule over my other wives and my city," he urges her, his voice dripping with venomous charm. "Open your eyes. It will all be yours." He is desperately trying to replace her cosmic destiny with a dazzling, luxurious imprisonment.
But listen to Sita's brilliant, devastatingly calm, philosophical rebuke. You are a magician selling sunlight, as if you owned it. The absolutely crucial point to understand here is how Sita anchors herself in Dharma, in universal cosmic truth. She doesn't raise a sword. She doesn't cast a protective spell. Instead, she reaches down and calmly places a single, fragile blade of grass between herself and the terrifying demon king. And in that moment, that tiny blade of grass becomes an impenetrable divine shield. She tells him that he sees everything reversed, simply because he is standing so close to his own inevitable death. She completely dismantles his staggering arrogance, reminding him that all the glittering treasures of the earth he's offering already belong to her lord, Rama. Humiliated and denied, Ravana leaves in a swirling, stomping fury, his 20 red eyes literally spinning in opposite directions with mad rage. The very second he is out of sight, the Rakshasi guards descend. They draw rusted, cruel knives, gleefully threatening to carve Sita into pieces right then and there. The tension becomes almost unbearable. But then, an old guard named Trijatata steps forward and raises her weathered hands. She silences the bloodthirsty furies with a chilling, prophetic vision of the future. In a dream, she has seen the absolute, inevitable doom coming for this golden city.
First, she says, Rama will arrive on a magnificent, towering four-tusked white elephant bound in silver. Second, she describes a terrifying image of their invincible king, Ravana, his head shaved bare, dressed entirely in blood red, riding a filthy hog relentlessly south into the land of death. And finally, she saw the very spirit of Lanka's good fortune fleeing to the north, weeping, covered in blood.
Section 3. The Messenger of Hope.
With that horrifying, apocalyptic prophecy hanging incredibly heavy in the air, the spooked guards disperse to their posts, leaving Sita entirely alone. The pacing of our story shifts dramatically here, drawing us down into a beautifully quiet, emotionally intimate space. Up in the dark leaves, Hanuman faces a delicate, almost impossible dilemma. How does a magical, talking monkey speak to a deeply traumatized prisoner without her assuming it's just another cruel, demonic trick designed to break her mind? He chooses the purest, most vulnerable approach possible. In a quiet, gentle voice that absolutely no one else can hear, he speaks just 2 words in the ancient animal language. Rama, Rama. It is a fragile, breathtakingly magical moment. Those 2 words pierce straight through Sita's thick veil of despair. She looks up into the shadowy branches and sees a tiny white monkey, his fur glowing faintly like little lightnings in the dark. To prove his identity and his incredible story, Hanuman offers her a single token, a wide, heavy gold band. As Sita reaches out her trembling hands to take it, she reads the engraving pressed into the metal. Rama, Rama, Rama. Imagine the profound, overwhelming emotional release of this exact moment. After months of terrifying isolation, psychological torture, and absolute despair, as her fingers trace the cool metal of the ring, it is exactly as if Rama himself is standing right there, reaching across the vast, impossible ocean to touch her hand. For a fleeting, beautiful second, the heavy tragedy of Lanka lifts entirely, and Sita smiles a slow, luminous smile, described as being as bright as the day star. She finds a genuine spark of pure happiness in the darkest depths of her captivity. Seeing her joy, Hanuman is absolutely thrilled. He immediately grows in size, his eyes suddenly glowing like dazzling brass plates, and he eagerly offers to end this nightmare right here, right now. He tells her to climb onto his back so he can leap across the sea and carry her straight home to safety. But Sita refuses. And you have to understand, it isn't out of fear of falling or fear of the demons. It is a regal, deeply principled determination. She flatly refuses to be stolen away in secret, sneaking out like a thief in the night. She demands that the broken cosmic order be restored openly, in the light of day. Rama must come himself. He must defeat Ravana and reclaim her with honor. She will sit exactly where she is, and she will wait, even in the very shadow of death, for the rightful, righteous conclusion to this war. Knowing he must respect her vow, Hanuman prepares to leap back across the ocean. But before he departs, Sita gives him a heartbreaking, deeply intimate message to carry back to her lord. She asks Hanuman to ask Rama if he remembers a specific crow, a crow that rudely clawed her when they lived peacefully together on Chitra Hill. Back then, Rama was so fiercely protective of her that he actually unleashed the dread, world-ending Brahmastra weapon just to punish a tiny little crow. She challenges his love with this specific memory. If he would unleash ultimate, earth-shattering destruction over a simple bird, why does she have no protector now? Has he enough love left in his heart to set his terrible weapons against the demons? And then she reminds him of a quiet, tender day when her red brow mark was printed against his green chest, resting right over his heart. It's a brilliantly calculated message designed to pierce Rama's grieving soul and ignite his unstoppable divine wrath.
Section 4. Wrath of the Wind Sun.
Hanuman promises to deliver every word. But as he turns away, an instant, chaotic monkey thought crosses his mind. How can he possibly leave her behind without giving her a sign of good cheer? More importantly, how can he look at this arrogant golden city and leave without carving a devastating, unforgettable scar into it? The quiet, emotional atmosphere we just experienced is about to entirely shatter. What follows is a spectacular, deafening rampage. Hanuman explodes into action, plowing straight through Ravana's immaculate, prized gardens. He rips up the ponds, splattering the elite demon sentries with wet, muddy lotuses. He roars, stampeding the massive war elephants and sending the royal deer into a blind panic. When Ravana's legendary bodyguard, a terrifying regiment of 80,000 heavily armored fighters, flies out to stop him, Hanuman simply rips a massive iron gate bar right off its hinges and beats the entire regiment into the earth, making the ground literally shake. Growing to the terrifying size of a white hill, he jumps onto the roof of the great sapphire temple, ripping a massive marble column free. He spins it in his hands so unbelievably fast that the sheer friction catches fire. Sparks and glowing coals whirl high into the black sky, and the majestic golden temple violently erupts into a roaring inferno.
Section 5. Clash of Magic Weapons. The roaring destruction awakens absolutely everyone in Lanka. Hearing the devastating racket of his invincible city being casually torn apart, Ravana desperately deploys his absolute elite warriors. First up is the terrifying Jambumali, riding out on a brilliantly colored chariot that is literally armored in dark death spells. Watch how this lightning-fast duel unfolds. Jambumali draws a magnificent, glowing bow and shoots a single arrow straight up into the sky. As he releases the string, he whispers a deadly, ancient magical mantra. Come down falling. The heavy magic immediately takes hold of the atmosphere, and Hanuman's footing begins to slip. But how does the Son of the Wind counter this complex, ancient Rakshasa spell? Not with a counterspell. He just yawns. He casually stretches out and closes his eyes on a balanced plank of wood. And suddenly, the sky answers the demon's magic. A tremendous, house-sized boulder drops from absolute nowhere. Then, a giant, whistling shadow grows incredibly fast over Jambumali's chariot, and a massive, heavy tree trunk falls like a meteor directly from the sky, instantly crushing the elite demon into the pavement. Hanuman effortlessly defeats mystical, complex elegance with raw, overwhelming physical force.
Section 6. The Illusion of Defeat. Hearing Hanuman's massive, victorious howl echoing over the rooftops like a beaten metal drum, Ravana finally realizes that standard warfare has completely failed. We now abruptly transition away from the roaring fires and clashing sounds of the battlefield, descending into an eerie, profound silence. Deep beneath the city streets, hidden away in a hillside woods, lies a highly mystical ascetic grove. Here we meet Indrajit, Ravana's most lethal son. He sits pale, thin, and entirely motionless beneath the sprawling roots of a banyan tree. He is in the very final moments of performing the Gift of Gold, an incredibly rigorous 5-day meditation and ascetic rite. Indrajit is fiercely fasting, completely centering his spirit and offering every single ounce of the immense worldly power he wins directly back to Lord Shiva. The contrast here is staggering. Above ground, Ravana rushes around panicked, sweating, clinging desperately to his worldly kingdom and his stolen prize. But down here, Indrajit possesses a deep, terrifying spiritual gravity, completely rooted in absolute, unshakable stillness.
Indrajit holds a profoundly detached philosophy of existence. This life is an echo in the air and a wave on the sea. He views the entire unfolding war, his father's frantic panic, and even Hanuman's fiery rampage as mere passing illusions. He calmly tells his terrified father, "War or peace, it's all exactly the same to me." But then, the quiet ascetic instantly transforms. The pale, thin hermit entirely vanishes, replaced in a heartbeat by a terrifying, raven-haired warrior. His skin flushes a dark, menacing red, like spilled blood. Armed with an impenetrable blue steel shield and a massive bow backed with winding gold serpents, he steps out of the grove and onto the burning battlefield. He is an enlightened, detached master wielding absolutely lethal force. Indrajit arrives calmly at the blazing ruins of the temple. He takes one look and knows instantly that Hanuman cannot simply be killed with regular weapons. So the ultimate divine weapon is unsheathed. Indrajit fires a single glowing arrow carrying a mantra that is so powerful it can only be used once in an entire lifetime. The unbreakable supreme spell of Shiva's noose. The divine magic strikes absolutely true. Hanuman instantly falls out of the sky, crashing into the earth, invisibly bound hand and foot, completely paralyzed by the will of the gods. The great, unstoppable monkey is finally defeated. But then, boundless chaotic ignorance takes command of the scene. Before Indrajit can even raise a hand to stop them, Ravana's lesser, ignorant demons rush out from hiding in the rubble. Seeing the mighty Hanuman down in the dirt, they cheer and eagerly wrap his body tightly in heavy physical iron chains to secure him. Standing a few feet away, Indrajit can only bite his lip and sigh in utter frustration, because there is a strict, ancient, and unbreakable rule to this specific divine magic. The cosmic binding force of Shiva's noose will absolutely never hold if any other physical bond is laid over it. The very microsecond those mundane iron chains touch his fur, the supreme divine magic silently shatters into nothing. Which leaves us with one final, deeply thrilling realization. As we look at this scene, we have to ask, is Hanuman a helpless prisoner, or is he now exactly where he wants to be? As the cheering demons kick him, spit on him, and begin dragging him away toward the royal palace, Hanuman kicks and curses right back at them. He gives absolutely no sign whatsoever that the paralyzing magic is completely broken. He hides his total freedom entirely. Only Indrajit stands back and watches, knowing the absolute terrifying truth. He knows that his arrogant, foolish kin are currently dragging a fully empowered, completely unbindable force of nature directly into the very heart of Ravana's throne room. Hanuman hasn't been captured. He has successfully infiltrated the very center of the enemy's unbreachable stronghold, perfectly disguised as a defeated, chained captive. The great golden city of Lanka thinks it has won, but the true battle has only just begun. If this journey moved you, support the channel with a like, share, and subscribe for more timeless stories.